The issue in the education system that I'm discussing is the importance of the ACT for college. I will argue that the ACT shouldn't be weighted as heavily as it is because a 4-hour test isn't fair to base a student's future from. It doesn't show the student's success and future successes, and one of the most recent issues for why the ACT being weighted more is a problem is the admissions scandals that college admissions are starting to find out about. My audience for this paper is Christopher S. Coles, who is the Director of Admissions at Utah Valley University. Christopher should be of concern because he is the director of the admissions and he has the final say and directs which students get in and what students don't get into the college, and he needs to know that by putting more weight towards the ACT, he could potentially be losing students who deserve to get accepted into this college and earning scholarships that maybe they can't get because they don't have a high enough ACT score. I tried to make this matter very important to him so he could see exactly what the ACT does show about a student and what the ACT doesn't show about a student, and that maybe he'll realize how real it is that students aren't defined by their ACT scores and that there's a lot more about their success than that. The first reason why the ACT shouldn't be weighted as heavily as it is because it isn't fair and a 4-hour test shouldn't determine our future. The source that I'm using for this is Chitwood. Austin Chitwood, a student from Bellarmine University, received a 3.9 GPA and a 22 ACT and wondered just how good are entrance exams at predicting college success. He discovered that the predictor of success didn't come from a 4-hour ACT. It was a personal experience of his own. Chitwood, in his college years, switched his major several times, and this affected his success in college. He says that his change in majors couldn't have been predicted by a test, and that if he hadn't learned the hard work that came from earning a high GPA, that he wouldn't have known what to do about his first major. He probably would have either quit or been miserable keeping the original major, and therefore ended up being unsuccessful. A standardized test like the ACT is really something so basic that cannot determine as much as college people are set out to believe, and the fact that they are determining more than they should is not fair. The next reason for why the ACT shouldn't be weighted as heavily as it is because the ACT doesn't show the student's success and future successes. And the source that I'm using for this argument is Strauss. Strauss, an education writer, says that a standardized test score cannot fully determine a student's success, and that the GPA and AP tests show more towards that student's success, and the AP exams show a student's dedication because it isn't required by the college, which shows that the student is going above and beyond, where the ACT is required, so it shows no determination because everyone must take it. Strauss then explains that GPA is still a better factor into a student's success in college, and that students who solely rely on their ACT scores will not go as far. My final claim on why the ACT shouldn't be weighted as heavily as it is because college admissions are finding out about more admission scandals now more than ever. And my source for this one is Goldstein and Shapiro. One of the most common scandals that college admissions have found out about is where a parent pays for a third proctor to sit in the room during the ACT, and before the proctor turns in the ACTs, the third proctor will go and change that student of the parent who paid to the right answers so that they can receive a good score on that ACT. As a result of this system being cheated, Shapiro and Goldstein said the degrees to which rich and famous families may have gone to cheat on could become a watershed moment for the rejection of standardized tests in every level of education, but particularly in college admissions. This means that students are being gypped because other students who may not have the same requirements of them are getting into colleges even though they shouldn't, just because their families are rich. So Shapiro and Goldstein are pretty much stating that this may result in them just getting rid of standardized tests altogether. There are several reasons on why the GPA and types of classes taken should be weighted more heavily, but it shouldn't ultimately matter what is weighted more because your ACT and GPA are dependent upon each other. And Zhang created a GPA to ACT conversion table to figure this out, and he found out that if you got a certain GPA, then that is what you should get on the ACT. So say you got a 4.0, then you should therefore get a 35 or 36. So some people don't agree that the GPA should be weighted more heavily because if you can get a good GPA, then you should supposedly be able to get a good ACT score. GPA and ACT are not dependent upon each other because what if a student who took a bunch of accelerated classes is not scoring as well on the ACT because what they learned recently isn't on the ACT because it's more advanced, and those who took the more basic classes still have what is on the ACT fresh in their minds. So that wouldn't make these dependent upon each other because your GPA is based off of certain classes and the ACT is based off of certain classes. And if you don't take the normal classes, then this all gets screwed up. So in the end, the GPA and types of classes that students took should be weighted more heavily because the ACT being weighted heavier isn't fair and it doesn't show a student's success, and there are admission scandals going around that cheat the ACT system, so why have something that can be cheated